Hi, hope you had a wonderful Memorial weekend. For me, I ate too much. Well, I haven't finished the sketches of what I envisioned of this part of the story, but here's a pic that my sister took out west where she lives. We start back with Chapter 3, Part 2. Mark starts up the hill and asks, "Mom, how did you know that the spring was behind that rock? You said you drank from it before, but you have never been here." Mark is always checking Little Bit out and takes everything literally. He worries about that little blonde-haired mother at times. Are the three men in her life driving her nuts? Mark, I probably dreamed of a place like this because, as I said, your grandmother read many of those Western books to me while we lived in India. We did not have any TV, and the radio had foreign music on it all the time, she replied. You must have really been dry. You've almost drank all the water. Your blood sugar isn't acting up, is it? Gary asked, concerned about her. As Little Bit stood and looked out at the beauty of the land, it brought back memories of a story her dad told her. Hey, Gary, Sonny, our cousin, tried to get Dad to go to a funeral that he had to preach at out on the reservation. Daddy said he had to do something. I think that he was trying to get out of going. When Sonny had finished preaching, he had turned around and was talking to the family when a .45 gun went off beside his head. Sonny said that it sounded like for a second that he had been shot. The horse fell into the grave on top of the casket. The man was buried with his hat, guns, jewelry, and horse. They then covered the grave and put some fruit on it. A Flatland tourist asked him, when would the man eat the fruit? The Indian said that he would eat the fruit the same time that the white man is dead. He smelled the flowers that he put on the grave. The Flatland tourist had nothing else to say. Little Bit says, as she looked up at Gary, Len is always noticing pretty things that we sometimes miss. He should put more time on his sketches. There is so much more life in the sketches than in photographs. I hope before we leave here, Len will sketch the view of the pinon overlooking the valley below, as Gary looks up at the pinon tree. Little Bit thinks again of her dreams. This was a pretty place for a camp, protected from the cold wind of winter by the mountains. The Indians here were able to plant a few things, at least in her dreams they did.